All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is June 10th, 2024. This is the BYOB market wrap up with me, John Kerrigan. And let's take a look at some charts. Okay, 10-minute uptrend going into the close. 2-hour uptrend right there. Price in the 3 over the 8. 2-hour uptrend going into the close. Daily uptrend going into the close. Got a higher low. Let me see what we got here. Low is 532.53. Low is 532.57. Higher, low, higher, lower, high. Inside day for SPY on the daily chart. Closing over, over the bullish trap, over the bullish trap and over the rising 17. QQQ. See what QQQ can do. Got an outside day for QQ. No, got a lower high and a lower low, closing over the bullish trap, over the rising 17 EMA. There's QQQ, still in an uptrend. FNGU got a lower high and a lower low, closing over the bullish trap, over the rising 17 EMA. Still in an uptrend. IWM still in a downtrend. Lower high, lower low, closing under the bearish trap underneath the 17 EMA. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow still in a downtrend, lower high, lower low, closing over the bullish cross, but underneath the 17 EMA. Let's take a look at our technicals. Bears threw us into the oversold zone. All right. And then the bulls said, no, not today. And then from there, we started making higher lows and higher highs. Wound up closing the day inside the inside the seller's chop zone. T2123. You can see the price action here. Just a gap down and a failure to fill the gap on T2123. You know what that spells? Weakness on the bull's part, strength on the bear's side. Okay, gap down, failure to fill the gap, T2123. T2123 3 bar, 3 more red candles. When is this going to stop? All right, and rising 200 SMA, see if we can get back on top of it by tomorrow. See what happens. FNGU. Got some red, got some green, got to pull back to VWAP, and failure to make a new higher high, but all in all, consolidating right up underneath resistance here, over a flat 200 SMA. All right, that is a bull flag. They've been there for 1, 2, 3 days now. Okay, this is the 3-day breakout. Should be imminent tomorrow. We'll see what happens. All right, so we should have a really good day if FNGU can do the bullish breakout. That's 3 days. Problem is they didn't break. Here's the problem. I want these 3 days to be on top of resistance. This right here, this 376.98, that's resistance. I like the consolidation underneath it. Don't get me wrong, okay? That's good. Over the flat 200. I like that, okay? But it's even more powerful if it's on top of support. In other words, it breaks through resistance and consolidates over it. All right, so we're up over this resistance right here, okay? So, you know, maybe I should be happy. We're up over the 200. And we broke through this resistance right here at 367. So maybe we see the pop through tomorrow and more consolidation over to the right. There's FNGU. All right, let's go back to the charts. And who do we want to look at first? How about some precious metals? Okay, silver. Silver's still in a downtrend, lower high, lower low, closing underneath a bearish trap, underneath the 17 EMA. All right, and for the daily candle was an inside day. Yeah, inside day, closing underneath the bearish trap, underneath the 17 EMA. GLD. Still in a downtrend. Inside day closing underneath the bearish trap, underneath the 17 EMA. USO. USO still in a downtrend till it breaks this high right there, or it comes back, makes a new higher low, and then breaks through that high. Okay, so it's got to make the higher low first, or it's got to break through this high. USO still in a downtrend, higher low, higher high, closing over the bullish cross and over the 17 EMA. Okay, so energy could be turning around, just maybe. UNG still in an uptrend, got a higher low and a higher high, closing over the bullish trap, over the rising 17 EMA. So UNG still in an uptrend. SMH. SMH. OMG, SMH, new all-time high for SMH. All right, new all-time high for SMH today. And we got I got to tell you, it looks like a lower low and a higher high. And closing over the bullish trap, over the rising 17 EMA. SMH, still getting it done. All right, too bad AMD didn't get the memo, but there you go. XLK. XLK got a higher low and a higher. That's a tough one. Let me see. The low is 214.73. And the low is 214.54. So higher low, high 216.73. 216.52. Higher low, higher high, closing over the bullish trap, over the rising 17 EMA. Is it a new all-time high? No, for XLK, but you get an A for effort. Okay, so let's take a look at IYT. So our transportation got an outside day with a higher high and a lower low, closing underneath the bearish trap, underneath the 17, still in a downtrend, making lower highs and lower lows. IYT can't get it done. All right, let's take a look at XLF. XLF in an uptrend. Today, just consolidating in this bear flag right here. All right, so lower high, lower low, closing underneath. I'm going to call it a bearish cross or converged moving average and underneath the 17 EMA. So XLF. All right, let's try one more. XLI. Industrials, inside day, lower high, lower low, closing underneath the bearish trap, underneath the 17 EMA. Okay, things not looking good. I'm just going to say it because, number one, I don't like this. I don't like that at all. The fact that the bulls couldn't even gap fill today, that's not a good sign. And we came all the way in the sold zone. We started out in the sell zone, and we came into the oversold zone, and then we got a hook right here in the seller's chop zone. So this is not looking good. All right. That's great if it can flip it around. All right. FNGU. All right. Consolidating over prior consolidation. That's good. Okay. But ever since this big energy grab right there, that should have been enough mojo to get us up over this and consolidate up here. And I feel like we're trapped underneath this. All right, so this is the third day. So the truth comes tomorrow. All right, so if FNGU is not breaking out of here tomorrow morning, tomorrow sometime before 12:30, I don't know. All right, I'm thinking a possible rollover back to the 200. And maybe that's what it needs, is to come down here, grab some spinach, and then make the higher low, and then loop up through. We'll see what happens. Kind of J hook up there. So there's FNGU, all right? But, I like the idea that the market's bullish and we're near the highs and everything's good, but just not getting everything that I'm looking for to have that robust rally. So, you know what? You might have to, I might have to put 550 SPY on hold, okay? But I do want to say one thing in the SPY. Let me go back. Price action today was pretty darn bullish. Okay? It was really pretty darn good. Okay, number one, we had the melt up, we filled the gap. Okay? We got up over the pivot. We got up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. And we started making higher lows and higher highs, higher lows and higher highs. So that's very bullish, And when I saw that, and it's probably normal to come up here and, we've tested this once, twice, 3, 4 times. It might take us a little while to get up to, 537. But we closed, we had a 10-minute uptrend, we had a 2-hour uptrend. All in all, it was pretty darn good for the SPY, considering, all right? Just considering, that was pretty good. Bulls showed up, they filled the gap, they took it up over anchored VWAP, they did the J hook off of it twice, they did a double J hook, JJ. You guys remember JJ from back in the day? They did a double J hook off of the anchored VWAP. So all in all, not too bad. Just challenging this. Couldn't get the breakthrough though. That's the problem. Couldn't get the breakthrough, and I think it's got a lot to do with this guy right here. Just failed to just not even fill the gap. He could have filled the gap and rolled over. They couldn't even get the gap filled on. They gapped down so far. So not liking that at all. But still, I got to be pretty impressed with what SPY did, acting as bullish as it was. It was not far off from the all-time highs in the SPY today. Here is the all-time high, 536.95. Where were we? 536.02. Not a bad show for the SPY. I still think 550 is a possibility if we could get out of this sell zone and oversold zone and get on the other side of the 50-yard line, start scoring some first downs. That would be good. If we got over here on the buyer's chop zone and started poking holes in the buy zone and the overbought zone, that would be nice. And if T2123 could get on the other side of this falling 200 SMA right there. Right here, I was looking for the V bottom. We never got it. And then the just bear flag just continued to extend. Let's just see where the 50-yard line is for this move up. Okay, so there we are. We gapped right into the 50-yard line right here. And I guess the bulls defended that. But they didn't have enough juice or energy to even get a first down and get it on top of yesterday's close. So they couldn't even get the gap fill. So hopefully they can pick up the ball. We got a little trend starting right here. Okay, but I've seen this before. Okay, we've got a little trend here. And, I've seen this before, a little trend here. Okay, and, what happened? This happened. So maybe this is it. Maybe this is the end. We hit the 50-yard line. Now we got to bounce. I want to see us back up here in quadrant 4. Okay, just not getting that loving feeling right now, but let's just say I've seen this before. I need more than that. Okay, I need more than that. And let's just take the quad lines and move them out. Let's move them out to, let me delete them. Let's just see from this high to this low where we are. Okay, from this high right here. Okay, so we're still in quadrant 1 from this lower high. We're still in quadrant 1. It's a long game when you're starting from your end zone. All right, I'm just saying, like, they're in the end zone here. Okay, they got a long ways to go. If that is a high to beat right there and start doing gap fill. But they're still in the end zone, so need to get the running game going and get back to the 50 right here and transition over, special teams here with this 200 SMA and get back up here in quadrant 4. Still a long ways to go, so I don't know. Let's go back and take a look at SPY but let's look at it with the Andrews pitchfork. Okay, it's hard to see, it's a little messy. Let's do it on the 2-day. Let me flip accounts here. Okay, so here we are with the Andrews pitchfork, and got a lot of stuff that probably could slide over. Let's move it out of the way so we can see where we are in relation to the Andrews pitchfork. And you can see here's the purple line right through here. Okay, and we're up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's still pretty good. And we're pulling back to the Andrews pitchfork, the middle tine right there. And maybe we need to hit that before we can bounce up. And you got to have clear skies to 550, so it may be that it's a couple more days. Let's see when we get clear skies to 550. June 17th doesn't quite get us there, but it gets us up to 448. Let's move it back a little further. See what we got here. Okay, now we got 550, so 550 might not be attainable till 621. All right, so we got another 10 days possibly to wait of consolidating sideways until we start to melt up. Okay, wait, here's the 24th. That's the 24th. So what is this? I'm just doing this with you guys as an exercise. So here's 550. Let's slide it over. So 24th, we're up over, is a possibility. Okay. Notice by the 24th, the middle tine is, where is the middle tine? The middle tine's up over 538. Now, we haven't even hit 538 yet. Okay, so in about 12 days, we could be up at 538 probably with ease. We'll see what happens. But by the 24th, we could, if we push it, we could hit 550 on the 24th. All right, but we got CPI coming out on Wednesday. All right, and this looks like the same game plan they've been doing. They always push it up right into the announcement. I don't know what it is, or Maybe they see nothing to report here, and therefore that's why they're pushing it up, because they know that they've got they're gonna receive good data, and we could get a pop. So we could be seeing a nice pop in the CPI, which is coming out Wednesday, and that's 2 days away. So we'll see what happens here. All right, so let me go see the room, see if there's any questions. Yeah, market's waiting for CPI FOMC on Wednesday. That's the big day. Yep. Totally agree, Judy. Until then, we're just going to consolidate into that middle time right there. And we'll see what happens from there. Let's get rid of that. It's hard to see with all this stuff on there. That's a little bit easier. So you can see the time a little bit easier. Take this one out. All right, so now you can see the 3 and the price up over the 8, up over the time. All right, still bullish, still bullish. So I got to give it up to the bulls. They did put on a decent show today, just not up to my expectations, but all in all, for what they had to work with T2123, these guys, I'm going to say they didn't help out at all, but they did grind up the whole day, making higher lows and higher highs. So I don't know. Maybe this is bottom. Maybe, hopefully, maybe this is the end of the bear flag. I mean, it's been going on since May 22nd. This bear flag we're dealing with right now. Okay, so it's like 20 days old. It's a little long in the tooth. You know what I'm saying? It's a little long in the tooth. Got all the way down to the midpoint here. Just a little too long in the tooth there for that bear flag. All right? All right, traders, that's it. That's enough of my commentary. I'll see y'all on Tuesday, tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock. Okay? Tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock. We'll do it again. Hopefully, the small caps and mid caps can get it together. Okay? If they can get it together, we could have a decent rally. But transports are still in a downtrend. Oil still in a downtrend. Gold and silver still in a downtrend. Futures, I guess some of the commodities are in a downtrend. Natural gas is in an uptrend. But that's it. All right, until tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Today was nothing. Today was a surprise. I thought it was going to chop. I did. I thought it was going to chop in between the two values, and it wound up getting on top of anchored VWAP and putting on a show. So that was more than I expected. See you guys tomorrow. Everybody have a wonderful evening.